Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review, where me and Aaron, of course, will be discussing Southern Charm, Season 10, Episode 5. Say hello and welcome Aaron to the show.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me as usual.
Woo-wee, Southern Charm is moving along, child. It got a little juicy. I don't know about you. But Salley coming in, spilling tea and carrying on. Now, real quick, did you notice how much weight she lost in the confessional versus her filming the show?
I did, yes. And I remember how you noticed, you were like, babe, she dyed her hair. She looks so much better. And it's like, now that we're seeing, it's like, oh no, she got a whole glow up.
She really did. And it's not like she's probably like a size 8. Now she looks like a size 4, 6 maybe, but a 4. Like, girl, you little. She's little like Taylor. Well, when she's sitting down, but anywho, she looks a lot different. No more chubby face. She has a real lean face and everything. I'm like, wow. Okay, girl. I hope you're all right. I don't want to assume nothing. I'm just saying. But she's a beautiful girl, and she got a lot to say, apparently, because child.
Yep.
I like how they got to the page like, girl, spill it. Shit, you over here talking. just give us some more. Girl, spill it. Anyway, before I get too far in. I like the show. I'm really, like I said, I really like the show. They're really getting it in. And the fellas are getting their girls about these fellas, girl. They don't know what to do. They really don't know what to do. It's like, man, JT showed up at the end with a text message. Girl, poor JT, he's getting the short end of the stick. No pun intended.
He needs to just stay away from the sticks.
And we found out what happened with Manny.
Oh yeah. Well, seems like he dumped her. I hate to be mean. I think Venita's lovely, beautiful, like I told you, so stunning, all these things. But it kind of seems like he moved to New York and was like, bye.
Dang. Yeah, when she said that she was not in his plans, I know that kind of stung. It stung like, oh my gosh. But anywho, yeah, bye, Manny. Whatever.
Bye.
If you come back, fine, but whatever.
Good luck on Broadway.
Okay. So pretty much it starts off, Shep visits Austen. And they start talking, gossiping and carrying on, talking about Taylor. Shep just got to keep talking about Taylor. Didn't even mention Sienna. I'm like, dang. And it's coming up on Taylor's 30th birthday party. So everybody's anticipating a party, but, Shep wasn't invited, child. He was like, no, he ain't coming.
She doesn't want to play friends with you, fool.
I think she know her bread is butter with Gaston, and she.
I mean, and this is like a weird conundrum. You're on a TV show, and you're gonna have to be around your ex. That's the reality. It's unnatural, but you're on a TV show. So most people on a reality TV show, they hang out with their ex, and it's unnatural, but they figure out how to do it. Taylor, on the other hand, has been kind of unwilling to do that, and I have a little criticism for her in that sense of, why are you on this TV show then? You know? And, I'll kind of speak to it a little bit later on when we kind of find out a little bit more about what she's going through. But, it's like, if you weren't up for it, babe, you shouldn't have come back.
Period.
So the fact that it's okay, I guess, that Shep's not invited to your 30th birthday, but the way that you're like, you know, acting weird and like, a lot of things, it's showing that you're not over it yet.
Right. And speaking of not being over it, Austen can't just, well, both of them, him and Shep, just can't get over the fact that Craig's business is priority and he don't want to hang out in the bar. Like, grow up. It's time that y'all grow up too. I'm not saying you can't go to the bar, but it seems like the only time that they're complaining about is that he's not at the bar with them.
Yeah, and it's like, what are you guys? You both of you have girlfriends, Shep and Austen at this point. What are you both addicted to the validation? Addicted to the attention? I think so. So you're
Yep.
saying that you want Craig to come with you because y'all love the attention that you get when you're out in public.
Mhm,
Craig's
mhm.
trying to tell you he can't live that way because he's given up, because that leads him down a path of self-destruction, which the two of you are still on. But,
One of them currently fighting it.
right. Yeah.
Hello.
Exactly. Like, Shep, you like, straight up went down to Costa Rica and tried to find yourself, and you really shouldn't be drinking because from all accounts sounds like you don't really have it under control still. But yeah.
And you would think that he would be somewhat confiding or getting some type of mentorship from Craig. How did you do it? But it tells me that Shep is in denial. He
I
doesn't
think he
think
is
so.
too.
Mm-hmm.
But I do appreciate the fact that Shep is a little bit more like, he can roll with it with Craig a little bit better than Austen. Do you know what I mean? Because I think also too, because him and Craig are not as close. Austen and Craig actually have invested in on a restaurant in New York together. They don't ever talk about it on the show. They also are opening a restaurant in Charleston, and they have the podcast together. So I think it's easier for Shep to not be so kind of personally offended or as like troubled by his relationship with Craig, because he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have the same entanglements. But I'm just like, are you mad at Craig for a storyline? Is that what this is?
It's weird, and the whole complaint is that Craig doesn't spend enough time hanging out with them. But Craig and Austin, like you said, they have that business together. They have the podcast together, and Craig mentions all this. They go to the gym,
Mm-hmm.
um, an occasional whatever, and he says, "Come over here." That's why he has this party house, so to speak, for people. And it's summertime. What ain't y'all? What, that's what the pool is for. He got an outside kitchen. You even got to go inside, pee in the pool,
Mm-hmm.
and eat outside. You got all this, but you want to go to the bar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. They want attention.
Yeah, because like, you have a girlfriend, so it's not even like you could like go take a one-off home or something. Like, you have a
Sure.
girlfriend, so what do you need at the bar? Like, why? Attention.
Hello. Well, next we have Taylor, her official 30th birthday. She's having lunch with her mom. And like you said, she's going through, maybe a little too upset to discuss her deceased brother. Her mom keeps trying to, bring it up in certain aspects. And she's just like, Mom, I'm just, Mom, you know
Mm-hmm.
how it is, it's like, girl.
Well, yeah, because it's like, girl, you need to talk about this stuff. You're on a reality show. We all know that you lost your brother too. If you're not able to handle this scene, and film it and be vulnerable and cry and do all that, then maybe you should have taken a season out. Like, I really do understand. I believe her brother died of a drug overdose or alcohol or something related to that. Of course, they don't
Hmm.
talk about it, but I mean, although once again, don't be on a reality show if you don't want to share certain things. Your brother was on the show and stuff. Tragically, he passed. That's horrible. I understand. I have all the empathy in the world, but if you're not up for it, don't be on a reality show then, because I don't need you to be half-assed on my TV. I am not bonded enough to Taylor as a person participating on Southern Charm to really like need to do it.
Okay, I'm a little confused. All this time, I thought her brother went the same way Olivia's brother did.
Her brother died of a drug overdose.
Girl, I thought it was unalivement all this
No,
time.
it
Well,
was an overdose.
girl,
Olivia's brother had an opiate problem, I believe, because of
oh,
all the medications he'd been prescribed because of his Lyme's disease. So,
dang.
yeah, so unfortunately Worth, I believe, went similarly. Um, but so it was accidental. But yeah.
These names, like Worth, Worth. That's
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, bless their heart, child. It's just,
Yeah.
but I can understand, her not really wanting to talk about it. It's just, for her, it's just so hurtful. And
Mhm.
even when she's with Gaston and he's comforting her, she turns away from the camera. She really doesn't want to, show that emotional side with everything because, child,
Well,
it's just much.
I do feel terrible. I mean, I think she relied on her brother a lot. Remember, she called him last season. She was caught like Olivia heard her talking about the situation. She had called
Yeah,
her brother,
yeah.
remember? And he was obviously on the phone. He was drunk, but he was offering, "Who do I need to beat up or whatever?" So it's very sad. I do feel for her a lot. I get it, but it's like I don't know. And like I said, it's like if you're not in the shape to be participating, then you might have needed to sit a season out, and run the risk of maybe not coming back. But if you're not up for it, because she then succinctly cancels her party, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, and another thing too, she's yet to be willing to really bring Gaston around to get to know anybody either, because I feel like she's like trying to avoid conflict with him and whatever. And I'm like, you're on a reality show, Taylor. You don't get out of this stuff. If you want to have a nice relationship that isn't challenged by your social group, get off TV, reality TV.
Well, she's still wet behind the ears, baby. Breasts smell like Similac, Good Start, all that.
What?
Infamy
That girl's 30 years old.
and 12
Yes, I'll give you
in
that. She does
in
act
real life.
young. Yeah, but
Speaking of the party being canceled, it was somewhat moved to Craig's house. Uh, when he mentioned it to Paige, she's like, "Yeah, have everybody come over." Of course, she's authorizing. Did you know? Did you know she was authorizing everything at the house? He would mention
yes.
whatever, but she would authorize it. So she's the boss.
Mm-hmm.
Craig is fine with it, and that's so cute. I love to see that.
Yeah, when and I feel bad because I mean, obviously we know if you've been living under a rock, Southern Charm fans, Paige broke up with Craig. Let's
Mm,
call it what it was.
mm.
She has already been seen on a date with somebody.
Oh, damn.
Oh yeah, and she put on Twitter like, "Let me be clear, I'm gonna be outside," or like, "Get used to it," or something like that. So,
And it's
um,
cold, so it's
I
like, ooh,
know.
you could be outside when it's cold.
So, but she was calling it our house. She was
She showed
referring to,
me
and I just, I feel bad for Craig. I think it's sad, but everybody's got to do it the best they can. But yeah, I mean, he would have offered her a very nice life.
Yeah, he was setting it up, and who knows? Maybe they will.
Hmm.
Hopefully he didn't cheat. Maybe
No, I don't think he did at all. Honestly, I'll just be honest with you. I think that you've watched the show. We've seen how much of a mess Craig can be. I think that there was a lot more struggle maybe because he did also mention going to a program, with drinking and stuff and having mentors. I think he might have had a little bit more of a struggle with kind of certain things in life and things in general. I don't know, I just get this weird feeling, I'm like, I just feel like Paige didn't wanna build a future with him because I think she knew that he was getting ready to propose soon, and I
Mhm.
think she broke up with him to stop that because she just something about their situation she didn't see forever anymore.
You know, there are certain things that we accept. There are certain things that we uh, prefer for ourselves.
Mhm.
And I can understand if that is it about, his addictions and things, because that's not something I would want to have to deal with. So I can understand it, as with anything else, but she knew that about him already.
She
So
did. I agree. Well, and that's another thing too, like, she keeps saying she said, on Summer House or in different things, like, "You have no idea what I've had to put up with, like, what I've had to what I've protected, like, what I haven't said and all of that," and I'm like, "Okay," it just
he
feels
did
like
something. Shit.
I know, right? But I also he was working on himself every time the bar was raised, "You need to get it together." Like, for
Right.
her, he was doing his best to better himself. So, regardless, I hope that he doesn't have any kind of, like, unfortunate backslides in his own personal growth because of the end of this relationship. But
Right.
ultimately, I do think it was a great relationship for him because it absolutely brought him to the next level of Craig. And I look forward to Craig being with a woman that is an equal partner to him, that gives him hell the way he enjoys it, but that is much more willing to live in Charleston and be a part of sewing down south and, like, helping Craig
Mhm.
build the brand that he has that's very successful.
Right.
Paige has her own thing going on Summer House, her podcast Giggly Squad with her best friend Hannah Berner is doing really, really well. She's kind of an it girl right now with her
Mm.
generation. So I get it. She just basically, you know, she's like, I have enough going on for myself that I don't want to compromise to be a part of your world. And
Mhm.
Craig has enough going on for himself that um he needs a partner that's willing to do that.
Well,
I mean, they had a cute party. Tangent.
and
Anyway,
her
back
dress,
to it.
excuse me, that her whole outfit, the baby doll dress with the matching shoes,
Mhm.
like what color was that? Like a sea blue,
Yeah.
green, sea green, something. It was really cute.
Yes, she's
I was
very
like, oh,
fashionable.
that's so like I said, the party, so-called party moved to Craig's house.
Mhm.
And the whole crew, almost the whole crew came, everybody but Austen. A little bit before that, Rodrigo had spoken. No, did he talk to him after? I'm thinking.
No, it was before.
Yeah, Rodrigo talked with Austen before
Yes.
the actual party had moved over.
And he said, "Oh, now I see where this is headed." Like, Austin's like, "Oh, since he didn't let me know himself, it kind of lets me know, like, where we're standing," kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I have my notes mixed up
Yeah.
because I had the whole party situation. But yeah, so Austin called Rodrigo when Rodrigo and his man, what's his name? Taylor.
Oh,
Tyler. Tyler.
got it.
Yeah, he got a call, and that's when Rodrigo broke the news to Austin. Austin trying to figure out what's going on, with Taylor, why the party was canceled, since he knew Rodrigo and Taylor, girl, Taylor, Tyler, all these damn
That's what I'm
names.
saying. God.
So since Rodrigo got the tea,
Right?
Austin calling Rodrigo with the tea, like, what's going on with Taylor and his party? he's like, well, it ain't gonna be one. Apparently, her and her mom started talking about her brother, and she got so upset. So that's probably why the party was canceled. Hey, it is what it is. And then he said, yeah, but we're all going over to Craig's house.
And Austen was like, we are?
He was like, oh, really? Mm-hmm. So then Austen figured, okay, he didn't invite me, so he's still sour. But to Craig's point, later on in the show, Craig mentioned it, but to Craig's point, like, you had all this to say about me. You came over my house selling wolf tickets, and then you left in a huff when I invited you to stay. So you don't want the headache. So I'm not going to invite you. So it is what it is. I see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I mean, and we kind of jump back to Craig and Paige talking about the situation while they were preparing for the party. Obviously, Paige totally is on Craig's side and firing him up to be completely mad and indignant about it. I'm not saying he didn't have a right to be. I'm just saying that
Right.
Craig has a peanut gallery firing him on.
And he trusts Paige.
Yeah. Well, and Austen and Craig even said, he's like, we have a contract. I treat it like a job. And half the time Austen is showing up hungover or zannied out, which, listen, I've long suspected that when they go out drinking, they also do a little, of the C word that goes along with it. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. And so I think that Austen has, when he says coming over zannied out, that means, you're hungover from certain things and you're just trying to be chill, you know what I mean? Because you're hurting. So I thought that was interesting that Craig kind of outed a little bit more illicit or alluded to some more substances. But I think they all partied.
That is so disrespectful to Craig's sobriety. It's like, respect his sobriety the way he's respecting it. So I can see that being withheld within the conversation. But yeah, I wouldn't want to do anything else either if that's where you're, consuming these substances. I wouldn't want to be around that either. Pretty much he's just hanging around him when he's working. But yeah, I could see that as to maybe the underlying reason that Craig is not really wanting to do all those extracurriculars.
I absolutely think there's not just alcohol involved when they go out. I'm just gonna stand by that allegedly, in my opinion, and with the little hints that have been dropped here and there, and the little dirty talks, that have been there was a time where Austen and Craig were captured, there was some footage of them at a live, they'd been hanging out at a house all night during the pandemic or something like that. And people saw lines on the table. Yeah, I could probably dig it up if we need to get that salacious or whatever, but not to bring on the show or whatever, but just to show you this is where I saw it. But the point is, it doesn't even really matter because nobody's really openly talking about it, and ultimately it's none of my business. However, I do think that there's more going on than just major drinking. And I think that Craig's whole point, without being able to be really blunt, because nobody talks about that on TV, right? It's kind of the Dorinda John Manassian thing where it's like, I don't want to go out and party and do, the things that y'all are doing or be in that environment or whatever. And, I'm just not doing any of that anymore.
He's not going to be Lisa Rinna.
Right. Dorit, who's doing what in your bathroom or whatever?
We all know when a group of people go to the bathroom, we know what they're doing.
So, and honestly, it's kind of crazy to me because, if that really is kind of their nature, their party lifestyle or whatever, y'all play too much. Y'all be doing this kind of thing, and then you want to have a storyline that Craig doesn't want to come out anymore. Get out of here.
They need to, I'm going to say it again, they need to respect his sobriety.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to respect it. And maybe that could be an issue that Paige has also.
Yeah, I mean, and if
you
you look at
know?
it, everyone's always talking about Austen's mediocrity, about how he's like, like, when are you going to buckle down or be more of a success, or get
Mhm.
your beer line in stores worldwide,
Right.
nationwide or whatever. And listen, if you're going out loving all the attention, bringing home whatever fine young thing wants to get a ride on the Austen, and doing all
Girl.
these other things, then yeah, your mediocrity actually makes a lot of sense, because you make enough money on the show now that you can live comfortably, and then you can party for the rest of the months that you're not shooting.
Yeah, they getting a nice little something,
Yeah.
they're probably up there with Sally's hospital salary, at least.
I think they get more. I think Austen, Craig, and Shep, for how long they've been on, I think they get closer to like 6 or 7. That's just my personal suspicion.
Well, I was talking about Austen
Oh,
specifically because he came in later. But
he
yeah,
did.
definitely 7, 8.
Yeah,
Shit.
he's been there a while. So yeah,
This show
I
is
mean,
successful. 10 seasons. Hello.
hmm
Even though we heard about cutbacks and whatnot, I
right.
mean, nah, because Beverly Hills is getting 7 figures. Come on. Let's
Yeah.
let's just be real. So,
Yeah.
but anywho. But yeah, Rodrigo and Tyler, they was like, ooh,
Yep.
we just trying to do laundry. And we get all this tea. It's just so fun. I like them. They're cute. Um, but yeah, next we got a little tearjerker. Madison calls her mom
hmm
and tells her about Brett, what we talked about before. He's giving her the info about his medical condition. And I didn't know that her dad passed from the CA, from the big C. So I can understand, her a little more,
hmm
because, her and I believe they were close. I didn't hear any issues between her and her dad. So you can just imagine, you know, your dad passing, especially if he's in your life and everything, and he's that, that typical Southern dad who was obviously her protector. She seems to have that traditional family, with her mom being real supportive, and that's just kind of sad, So I kind of
hmm
feel for her a little bit. I can see why her heart is really soft at this point versus how it was before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope Brett's okay
Me too. Prayers shout out for Brett and his health.
for sure. All right, so we pretty much at the party now, right?
hmm
The crew showing up. Like I said, Molly. We see Molly. Now, why did Molly bring that dickhead? Molly. This is Molly, girl. Read the. Well, Whitney wasn't there. Shep wasn't there.
It was
Austin wasn't
supposed to be
there.
for Taylor's birthday.
Yeah, Taylor's birthday.
So she
So,
brought it because,
child,
yeah.
it was just so crass. Like, girl,
Yeah, it was.
I thought you from down south, girl. Bye. You
Mm
should have. That should have just been for the girls.
hmm
Save the. I know she wasn't gonna eat the cake because she got her weight is she got a thyroid issue and she don't want to But girl, no. And then it got Taylor's name on it. It was just so inappropriate. It was just highly inappropriate. And then you come over to the man's house that you was sexting with this cake. With
Yeah, that's the funny
it.
part. Production's probably like, you need to bring that because it's gonna look awkward that you're bringing it.
And what's her name? Paige kind of made a dig at it. Like, yeah, I thought I was having what she say? A respectful party. What she say?
Yeah,
A
something like
respectful
that.
party. Yeah, like girl. Anywho, I think that's the last time her and Molly said something to each other.
Probably.
But child, speaking of stuff going, so pretty much the rain started a little bit. You know how it is. Get these flash floods or rainstorms or whatever, and people still coming in. But Rodrigo and Craig talk, and Rodrigo's trying to, mend fences, trying to get, Craig and what's his name, Austen, to maybe, get together, but it ain't gonna work because Craig is standing 10 toes down. Like, no, I didn't invite him because, like I mentioned before, he's over my house talking cash money shit, and I'm not gonna bow down. No, he can stay where he at, and we gonna have a party. Period. Point blank.
Mm-hmm.
And Craig also inquires about why Taylor canceled her party, and like Rodrigo said, she wasn't feeling it. Her and her mom. But the interesting thing came in a little later. Salley, child, Salley starts spilling tea, baby, talking to Taylor. What's the people name? Madison and Paige, and they're just getting to know each other a little more. And Salley spills a little tea, talking about, I talked to Gaston the other day, and they're like, "What? What you talking to Gaston for? I thought y'all was, separate." So pretty much, Salley said that her and Taylor got a few people in common, child. It was Shep, Gaston, and some dude named Andrew that Salley is currently seeing. Did she mention somebody else? Girl, the pH balance.
Yeah.
And so apparently, okay, let me make sure I got this straight. So Salley saw Shep for just maybe 3 hours at 2:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next dude she was seeing Gaston, and she says there's some overlap because July 4th of last year they was hanging out, but then before August hit, he was with Taylor.
Yeah.
And then after Gaston, then what's her name? Salley got with this dude named Andrew who used to be with Taylor. Child.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, y'all need to be friends since y'all, girl, I'm sure y'all paths have crossed, believe you me. And then Salley is letting the girls know. Now, first of all, why Salley got these pictures in her phone, this man that don't want her? See, that's what I'm saying, like I said before. It's something strange about this girl, like she's trying to prove a point. But she did say that he told her he loved her, but they were only together maybe 90 days. Like I said, girl, 90 days is not enough. And then you got these pictures of this man you showing people just to prove her point that we were together. But before you got there, you had a talk. He called you, or I think he called her. She said to keep his name out of her mouth. That was the reason why he called her.
Effing name.
And it's something telling me that I'm right. I don't know. Of course, it's going to spill out more, but something's telling me this girl is a little more infatuated with Gaston than he was with her. And it was only 90 days. And now she keeping pictures of this man. Now, if he just told me to keep my name out of his mouth, I'm deleting pictures. That's just me. Ain't no need for me to have no picture of him nowhere or having to prove that he was with me. And look at us. I don't know. Something seemed a little off with her, but I could be wrong. I
want to see them interact. The fact that, the fact that we haven't seen them in the social group together yet, I still think two things can be true. She can be like not over it, and he can be a dickhead. Like, yeah. So, I look forward to. I mean, I can understand why he said keep my name out your mouth, but I think she also doesn't appreciate the fact that Taylor was kind of insinuating she was an escort, whatever. I don't know. It's messy.
Yeah, Taylor's definitely messy, and how she acted when everybody was together at the doggy party.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it and heard it. So
Yep.
yeah. Excuse me.
I
Good
think she
grief.
just doesn't like the fact that this girl can land anybody she can.
Yeah, competition.
Mm-hmm.
Competition.
But this girl could be
Mm-hmm.
nutso too. Like I gotta see. We need to see further interaction with the parties involved.
Right. Like I said, I need to see some more. I
Yeah.
need to see more, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping my name out your mouth. I'm keeping your pictures off my phone. I don't want to have nothing to do with you. If you're gonna read me for filth, embarrass me like that, girl, I don't know. I don't know. But she got this man, Andrew. He cute, long hair, don't care, tats. He looks like a nice build of a man. From what I saw, he looked attractive. What's that singer, Michael Bolton? Like a young, cute Michael Bolton,
That's funny.
but cuter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Did she say he surfed? I don't know.
Listen, I don't know. I get the feeling that Salley was very hurt by Gaston and doesn't want to let him try and make it like she didn't matter because I think she wants to make it clear, oh no, he talked a lot of schmack during those 90 days that really led me to believe that, we had something. But uh you know, at the same time, jumping on into dating somebody that was dating Taylor, oh, we were comforting each other and now we're dating. Whatever. It just seems like everybody's kind of got some questionable integrity there. But
Yeah,
we'll see. I want to see them all interact.
there's some tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
Don't it kind of look a little bit so far like, girl, what you doing?
I still don't, you know what? I'm still think he's a dog. Like, I thought Gaston was cuter than, obviously Shep or whatever, but like, I don't know. I still think this man could be a dog because most men are. Sorry.
Well, we're
I,
gonna find out on episode 5.
yep. Yep. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
So just like we, going back and forth. So, Madison got some info that she couldn't wait to tell. So she went to the house inside, get some AC. Apparently, it's hot outside. And Craig and Paige, they were all three of them talking. They become kind of close. And Madison pretty much says, "Well, I heard, no. She told Rodrigo first. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she was outside with Rodrigo trying to get the tea and spill the tea, talking about Gaston. And could he be the reason why Taylor canceled the party? Because I heard that he told Salley to keep his name out of her mouth." And he was like, "What you mean? They don't talk, they're toxic towards each other." He said, well, they ain't that damn toxic. They was talking. So, and I think she told Rodrigo on purpose so that he can go back and tell Taylor.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because, girl, Madison, look, old dog.
Yep. No new tricks.
She's still messy. She's, she still got that in her. But yeah, I know for a fact she was talking to Rodrigo, telling him that, "Oh, I can't wait to tell Rodrigo so he can tell Taylor."
Mm-hmm.
Producing. Uh, Madison is funny. And Rodrigo, of course, is going to tell Taylor because that's how Rodrigo is. And he was like, "Well, no, they ain't supposed to be talking. What you mean they talking?
Mm-hmm.
Will they meet up or do they talk on the phone? You know how it is. Where are they talking?" Child. So yeah, that excuse me. So that's gonna be some issue, and he gonna have to address her again for not keeping his name out of her mouth.
Yep. She sure didn't. We saw a preview. She really doesn't.
I mean, it is what it is, right? And so yeah, so pretty much Madison has made her mind up that Gaston ain't worth the pot nor the window because she thinks he's the reason why Taylor canceled the party, so that
Yeah. I mean,
I'm like,
listen,
girl,
two
that's
things can be
wild.
true. This girl cannot be getting over it, and Gaston could be a jerk. You know what I mean? I think two things can be true. This girl cannot be letting it go,
Yeah.
and he's a piece of crap.
Because I think the last time a guy addressed a girl in that type of way was when Catherine was loving the crew, right? Craig addressed her. Was it Craig? Yeah, her and Craig was going back and forth on the back porch because she was loving the crew, and he was like, "Girl."
Yeah.
I think that was not. I could be wrong, but I think that was the last time any guy on this show was going. No, Craig and Madison in Jamaica. No, on the reunion. Craig and Madison on the reunion where he was, but it wasn't as aggressive as it was with Craig and I forgot her name just that quick.
Catherine?
Catherine, thank you.
Yeah.
Because some tell me Gaston is going to be similar in his in his vernacular with Salley.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna ignore her. Like he called her, so apparently he ain't afraid to reach out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm ready to see what happens. You know
Me
what I
too.
mean? I'm like, I'm tired of speculating. Get it, meet up.
Okay, pull up.
Yeah.
Somebody pull up.
Exactly.
And yeah, so that was the tea. Oh, and the more tea. Craig mentioned that because Madison was mentioning how she had Craig's back at Patricia's party. And she's like, well, so what's up with you and your crew? Because I had your back at the party. And that's when he and Paige pretty much was dogging Austen out, just, not really appreciating how he's acting towards Craig. And Craig was like, well, I did the podcast by myself. So it is what it is.
Yep.
And Paige was co-signing. That's her man. She ain't see no problem with it. It is what it is. I mean, that substance issue, I think, may be a part of it.
I do too. Yeah, I mean, I think, partying ways and all of that, they all need to grow up. I mean, when you are attractive enough, you're on a TV show, you're not in LA, so you're not like every other, wannabe entertainer. You can get probably, having fun at the bar, doing certain things with certain women and partying down, all of that, I think that's a very real thing that they're trying to transition out of, kicking and screaming, or more voluntarily, right? Without being very specific and kind of blowing their cover about using, illegal drugs. But I think this partying lifestyle, and I put that in quotes, is an issue.
Now, speaking of an issue, the last scene.
Yeah.
Shep and Craig have lunch and they're just reminiscing. Okay, Shep, he said, yeah, you know how the phones listen to you, then they put together these photo collages. And then apparently the phone was listening to Shep reminisce over his relationships with both Austen and Craig because the phone put together those collages with all three. And he said how sweet this is. I just love their relationship. It's so manly that they're just so comfortable with each other that someone who's on the outside looking in would think otherwise.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do think they have a cute friendship, and I think Shep, as much as he's struggling with his own stuff, I think he has an affection for Austen and Craig that is sweet. I appreciate how kind of Shep can look at it from a different perspective.
And pretty much, again, just like Rodrigo and Madison and everybody else, except for Paige, Shep is trying to, get Austen and Craig and trying to get Craig to see Austen's hurt. Maybe he's just not, coming together the right way. But Craig don't see it like that. He's like, well, listen, it is what it is. And, he don't mind taking a break. he may, need the space, just so that it's not going to be even more toxic. And I don't blame him.
No, let me tell you something. If my friend came at me and I knew that underlying, like, all the shenanigans that we did, and I was trying to live on the straight and narrow, and my friend had the nerve to say to me, "You don't ever come out anymore," I would be just as done as Craig. I'm just saying. So, because the writing can't be that simple on the wall. It can't just be that Craig doesn't want to go out and Austen is annoyed that he won't. No.
They see each other at least once a week.
Yeah, I think something else is going on, but
No, actually, I'm gonna say twice because he said working out in the podcast.
Austen has some audacity to try to use this as a storyline if there's other things going on, and it just certainly seems that way to me. That Craig is trying to say without trying to say, "Yo, I don't want to put myself at risk of doing any of that nonsense anymore."
And where's the girlfriend? I'm sick and tired of seeing him by himself. Bring the girlfriend back. She was there for one episode.
I know. So convenient that it's long distance.
Is that not the girl?
Of course, Austen finds himself a girlfriend he's so happy with, but she doesn't live close enough that, she can be involved and the relationship can be destroyed.
Then while they're talking, Craig gets a text, and we see in another montage across the pond, JT is getting out the shower, getting himself all gussied up and everything, and he's texting, and that's who was texting Craig. JT, he comes out the woodwork, child. We ain't seen him since the other episode. Pretty much letting Craig know that he wants to meet up. He wants to settle all this misunderstanding, misinformation of the playing telephone situation, and that Shep was like, no, was like, yeah, what do you say? And then Shep had the audacity to say that Austen may not like this. Like, who the fuck? By now, saying that is not going to move the needle for Craig. So I don't even know why he said that. Like, so what?
Craig actually owes JT a conversation, because if he's gonna stay with what he said, regardless of how Austen feels, I would if I were Craig, I'd be like, I told Patricia, sir, Craig knows he's got to meet with JT.
And apparently at least 4 people think Craig
heard wrong.
He shouldn't have said.
I'm like, show me the proof,
Okay. And that was it, y'all. That was Southern Charm. I'm telling you, there's some tea. These no longer kids, but these aunties and aunts and big sis and big bro, child, that they good and growing out here acting a little silly. And I do like the addition, but Molly girl, we don't do tacky. I don't think so. No, but we don't do tacky. But yeah, I like what Sally's bringing. We have our difference of opinion about her and Gaston, so I can't wait for either of us to be proven whatever, or maybe, like you said, both of us could be right.
Exactly. Honestly, I feel like both of us are right. I do.
Because, child, somebody read me for filth, and I ain't gonna have some man read me for filth out. Every picture is gonna be deleted. I'm sorry. Keep my name out your mouth. Oh, delete.
No, delete. Not a problem. Delete. Yeah, well, we shall see. We shall see.
Okay, she got something to prove, and we need to see what that is.
Yeah,
y'all. Any last words for these heifers and these heifos and heifers?
I'm ready to have some people air some things out. You've been leading up, people. I'm ready for a real, come to Jesus.
Yes. So y'all, that was it. We hope you enjoyed this review. Again, we come through weekly. We got the drag race. We got, of course, Southern Charm. And you never know what else we're going to review. Well, of course, All Stars drag race is going to come right after. So there you go. And what did you say?
I said,
And so when you're not with me, where else can we find you?
You can catch me on Instagram at psychic_ELB. If you'd like to get a psychic reading, just hit me up in the DMs. You can also catch me on Alexander Rogers' channel on occasion. It is award season, and we do a red carpet roast and
Yes.
review.
So funny.
So
So
you
funny.
can catch me over there.
And thanks again, my friend, for doing this with me. I really enjoy it. And you guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And check her out on all her platforms. And we'll catch you later. Bye. All day.